Hello everyone, it's Starella, and welcome back. So, nobody knows this, but I have an entire, page full of visual novels on Itch.io, because I see some that interest me, so I save them. I never get around to playing them, just because gotta play what's relevant if I want to keep getting semi-decent views, or sometimes great views. And I had an idea of playing visual novels all throughout February, but with my job, it's not possible. But I'm going to try to play as many as I can, hopefully. So, I saw this today and thought, why the hell not? So, this game is called Fear Me. This is a Jeff the Killer dating sim. And you guys know how much I love Jeff. I also noticed his eyes follow your mouse. I guess that's kind of a cool feature. And you guys also know how I feel about some visual novels. Some are good. Some are just, we get it, you're down bad for this character. Alright, we're just gonna hit start, because a part of me really does not want to play this. I saw it, thought it'd be great, and then immediately did not want to do it. But here we are. The room was silent, illuminated by the warm midday light filtering through the window. You looked anywhere but at your therapist. You didn't yet feel comfortable enough to speak freely. Attending these sessions felt like a chore, more than for your own good. It seemed like a way to keep an eye on you. Therapist. My therapist doesn't even get a name. You know you have no obligation to talk about him. The therapist watched you patiently, leaning calmly against the back of his armchair. Can't talk. I'm also still tired from work, so if I mess anything up, you know why. You can talk about whatever you want. You scoffed ironically, offering no reply. It had been 7 days. Enough time for someone to change, don't you think? No. A week is not enough time for someone to change. Well, depending on what it is. Instinctively, you raised your hand to the left side of your face, where a patch covered your left eye. He hurt you. There's no doubt about it. The police, the hospital. Everyone has their version, but I want yours. You shrugged. If somebody did something to a body part of mine like that, they're not going to change in a week. That's fine. Silence is an answer. I know. Star, why'd you phrase it like that? Because, look, damage my eye, my arm, break my leg, whatever. I don't care. You caused me physical harm. No, thank you. You looked towards the window. Your reflection silhouette was visible in the glass. Even though you couldn't see yourself clearly, your posture and expression were noticeably different from a week ago. What in God's name happened in an entire week? The start of your shift is like you go away. Who is it? Every time I'm trying to record, people want to bother me. You have a clear routine. Wake up, work, and sleep. That's my routine now. You have no legacy, no ambitions, no penny matters. I wouldn't say all that, but you fulfilled your duties as a student and finished school, but you lack the motivation to pursue a dream or a goal beyond where you are now. Guys, you don't have to go to college. Going to college is not going to fix all your problems. You feel as if you don't have a starring role in the world because nothing special has happened to you yet. In fact, one could say you let apathy guide you. An apathy that numbs your strong emotions. A roller coaster ride? Pleasant. You trip and fall face first in public? Not the end of the world. That is the end of the world for me. If I trip and fall in public, I gotta go start a new life, have a new name, new identity, all that. Positive and negative, your emotional range is very low. Like a perfect blank canvas. Anyway, you try to make your life as comfortable as possible. As strange as it sounds, you work at a video store that only attracts nostalgic and cinephiles? How's a cinephile? I like movies. The main reason you took the job was because you like it. Spend hours watching movies and never get bored. I kind of feel like we're dragging on a little bit about ourselves. We get it. We're pretty boring. You're pretty boring with no goals, nothing to your name as far as you're just existing. You're not really living. The place is colorful enough not to depress you by just being there. If you're lucky, you might run into an interesting character or two. Of course, besides the characters that already exist. Cindy. Catching up on lost time. For a moment, I thought you wouldn't come. Cindy, your coworker. She's not very good at her job, which is saying a lot since Being an attendant at a time-lost store doesn't require much effort, but she's the owner's daughter. Okay, I like the art style. What type of outfit is that for a job, though? You're the other full-time employee, and you do well. You two don't get along great, nor terribly. You tolerate each other. Where's your badge? Instinctively, you reach for your neck. Indeed, your employee badge wasn't there. It's strange, but I feel like I can't say your name without your badge. Cindy shrugged and retreated to the back room with a box full of movies. Somehow, what she said made sense. It was as if you could remember your own name unless it was written in front of you. As if names only existed if someone... Okay, we get it! Well, you remember taking it out of your things you arrived, so it was most likely still in the store. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm being a little impatient. I'm just ready to, like, get into what happened. I'm actually interested to learn about what happened during the week. We don't need all this extra detail about it. We get it. Just let me write my name down so you, the game, know what to call me. I mean, I don't know, check aisle 2. You lean down and try to get a better look at the floor, hoping your badge is around somewhere. You move down the small aisle, determined past shelves packed with horror and thriller movies. So you spot the unmistakable piece of plastic almost at the end of the aisle. You're reaching for your badge, but a white hand got there first, slowly picking up the plastic piece. Oh! Oh! Sorry! Oh my god, you look crazy! Look at his eyes! You know, I forgot. He has no eyelids. I read, like, the creepypasta about Jeff the Killer, like, years ago, and I'm pretty sure this dude cut his eyelids off in the story. At least that's what it said. If my memory is correct. I don't know. I'm stuttering. Okay, get it off this picture. You looked up and found yourself facing a tall, hooded man with his face covered. He looked like a potential criminal or someone with a bad cold. He does not look like someone with a bad cold. He looks like somebody from Chernobyl. Like, the hell are you talking about? But you didn't have the energy to worry. You straighten up, standing face to face. I would if I worked in retail. If somebody picked up my ID badge looking at me like this, I'd be taken aback for a second. The man seemed to ignore you, more interested in your badge in his hand. Is this yours? His voice, muffled by the fabric, was deep and slightly raspy. Get some water, why don't you? You nodded silently, looking at the man suspiciously. By the way, he cocked his head. Prove it. Did this... Prove it? No, now you can finally visualize your name. Oh my god. He really said prove it like it doesn't have... Okay, I mean... Well, you know what, now that I think about it, if your badge doesn't have a picture on it... But then again, it's like, you work in the store. Who else could it be? It's like, it's not yours. Spell my own name wrong. Starla. No, keep going. The man looked at the badge in silence, and for a moment, you truly thought you might have been wrong after all. But then he offered you the piece of plastic. Alright, Starla. You took the badge in your hands, giving the guy a look. Yeah, mock this guy. It looks like he has the plague. Thank him. Thanks, mister. Don't call me that. I'm not that old. I wouldn't say mister either. What the heck? Sorry, but I have no way of knowing when I can't see your face. I guess you have a point. Besides, from the skin on your hands, I can tell you're not exactly a young fella. The hell am I old? By the way, I love the way the spelling is right here. Yeah, I get it. That's what sounded irritated. I don't care. Part of you said you should be more sweet with customers, but if you manage to annoy them with your chatter, you should consider you could. I can't. Oh my god, you guys hear me? I'm reading faster than I'm talking. You could consider it an achievement. This guy gave you bad vibes. See, yeah, there I go again. You silently put the badge around your neck while he remained motionless in his spot. Slowly moved towards the counter. The guy stared at you. I don't know what. Just the thought. It's just the thought, like, you slowly putting your badge on, and then you, like, just kind of walk towards the counter, and he's just that staring into your soul. You decide to ignore him, shifting your attention to one of the monitors next to you. You could, if the hooded guy from before would stop wandering around the store so suspiciously. You tried your best to ignore him, but it was impossible not to notice him. Maybe he was doing it on purpose. Hey, Starla. At the sound of your name, you looked up at Cindy, who had come around the counter to stand next to you. Did you see that guy? He's been here for a long time. You looked where she was subtly pointing, and of course she was talking about the same guy. Yeah, I saw him. You shrugged, the very logical reaction, right? Maybe he's deciding what to buy. He was probably just a weirdo you'd see once, no big deal. Anyway, Cindy, as annoying as she was, wasn't easily flustered. He's just a weirdo. We see those every day. But this one feels different. Wait, you were starting to believe Cindy had watched many movies, but then you remember she didn't like cinema and only worked in her dad's store. When I talked to him, he didn't seem dangerous. Cindy turned to you, surprised. You talked to him? Did he say anything strange? God, I'm really drawing a blank. What did he say again? I mean, he didn't necessarily say anything weird. No. He just gave me back my badge. Why did he have it? I mean, he grabbed it first. Look, it wasn't a big deal. Cindy looked at you in silence for a few seconds, then sighed. If he makes you uncomfortable, I can ask him to leave. Cindy shook her head, glancing at the guy. You're probably right. The hell? Why am I so abrasive? And you can absolutely trust I would not be asking him to leave. I would need somebody to go with me, and I would need a linebacker. Because you got me messed up, and you think I'm taking her with me. Okay, I'll leave you to it. I'll go check the inventory. If someone says, oh, sorry, you don't think two women can handle it? No. You don't try crazy. Sure. You settled into your designated chair, and before you could pretend to look at your seat, Cindy spoke again. But if he does anything suspicious, let me know, okay? Sure thing, you got it. You nodded slightly. Cindy didn't wait for a verbal response. She just went back to her task. You kept your eyes fixed on the monitor screen for a moment. Out of the corner of your eye, you glanced at the aisles. The guy was still there, just standing. He was looking at a shelf that held nothing particularly interesting. And then he looked at you. It wasn't a quick or distracted glance. It was direct. I don't know why. We're gonna save it right here. Return. What would... In a situation like this, I would look away. The guy was starting to freak you out. You couldn't face him. It was getting to be too much. Now, I'll go back and see what happens. Yeah, sometimes you gotta learn. You don't stare at certain people. You decided to ignore him, turning your attention back to the monitor to remove the CD from the player. She put the CD back in its case. You looked at your options. Let's go fantasy. Feel like escape reality into magical worlds and extraordinary creatures. So you pick a movie and watch it for the rest of your shift. Your workday was over. All in all, it was quiet. Night had fallen, but there was no reason to worry since you lived a few blocks away. Some things were just convenient like that. This week, it was Cindy's turn to close the store. Since you two had almost the same position, you decided that closing duties would be by turns. So you had your things ready to go home. Are you going to be okay? Sure, why wouldn't I be? That guy seemed a bit fixated on you. You scoffed ironically. Come on me? Yeah, I don't get it either. Okay, ouch. But what if he follows you? That's not going to happen. He left hours ago. It's the way he stayed lurking around here. I don't know. Your danger sensor isn't very accurate, I'd say. Yeah, what the heck is wrong with me? If he was... Guys, paint a mental picture real quick. He was standing in one of the aisles and then deliberately made direct eye contact with you. Like, that's not just a coincidence. I would not be this calm. I would be a little bit nervous. Dangerous subject. No, it is not! That's not true. Why do you care so much? I thought you hated me. Cindy was surprised by your words. She averted her gaze, playing with the mop handle she had in her hands to clean before closing. I don't hate you. I just think being with you is boring. Yeah, well, you're not exactly the life of the party. I don't mean it in a bad way, really. I feel peaceful with you. Oh. Your disregard for everything could be tiresome, but it was also comforting in a way. You scratched your head, not knowing how to react to Cindy's words. She never said anything nice to you until now. Cindy cleared her throat, looking away with an embarrassed grimace. What I mean is, I don't want anything bad to happen to you. You took a step towards her and placed your hand on her shoulder, smiling calmly. I'll be fine. Just because something weird happened doesn't mean the universe has decided to turn against me. I'm not gonna lie, Cindy doesn't seem like a bad person. She just seems like someone that can't express her emotions clearly. You shared a final farewell gesture before you closed the door behind you. Like, I mean, if she didn't care, she wouldn't have warned you about Jeff at all or anything. Like, or even cared that you were going home when he was staring at you. She wouldn't have told you any of that. Seems like the character is just kind of mean in this. The store indicated it was closed, and you sighed, feeling the weight of adult life in a capitalist world lift a little from your All right, just a little. It was part of the routine saying goodbye to Cindy and finally going home. You lived on your own since you started working, so you had no extra responsibilities to worry about, which gave you space to focus on your own needs. It wasn't an extraordinary life, I can't talk, but it was functional. You worked during the week, earned enough money for rent and bills, and rested on weekends. Even though the street was well lit, the atmosphere remained gloomy as you walked towards your apartment. It had always been like this, nothing to fear, right? Suddenly you heard quick footsteps behind you. You turned to react, but felt arms wrapped tightly around your neck, immobilizing you. You struggled to break free, but then you felt the pressure in your stomach. A cold sensation branched from your stomach to the rest of your body, and you could swear you felt your guts spilling out. Your body convulsed after being pierced, and that's when the pain hit. It hurt a lot. So intense you couldn't feel your limbs. Is this how you were gonna die? You knew what would happen eventually, but you didn't know what hurt so much. Who could have done this to you? Something so cruel. Did you even deserve it? You weren't a saint, but you didn't consider... Okay, come on, man. All this extra stuff. Am I dead? The last other question was... No, go back. The city would have to cover your shifts while they look for a replacement. You didn't get his attention. Okay, guys. I've only been recording for 20 minutes. That was ending 1. There's 9 endings to this, by the way. I'm just gonna put my 2 cents in now. I absolutely hate when games do that. I don't like it when they have rushed endings just because you didn't do a particular choice. I'm gonna be honest. It's like, you didn't stare at Jeff, you die. It kind of feels like, then you should have made it so that I did. Like, give me more options to choose from the one. Because now I have to play through that whole thing again just to get to that part because I didn't stare back at him. And I swear, if it was because of the movie choice, oh, I really would have been pissed. I would have turned this game off. Because some games do that too. If it was because whatever movie I picked chose the ending, I would have been pissed. Alright, we're going to meet his gaze. Oh yeah, by the way, there's a little meter in this that tells you if you gain his affection. I completely forgot about that, but that doesn't make that ending any less stupid of how I gained it. You returned his gaze with the same intensity. You didn't know if you were doing it out of bravery, stubbornness, or simple curiosity. But you didn't blink. He can't blink. But then he made a slight gesture. An almost imperceptible nod of the head. If that was the right... I don't know. As if he were greeting you. You decided to ignore him, turning your attention back to the monitor to remove the CD from the player. Just put the CD back in this case you looked at your options. Okay, let's choose romance. Seeing how other people's relationships unfold, maybe part of you wishes you could live a love story. So you pick a movie and watch it for the rest of your shift. Your work day was over, almost quiet, night was falling, but there was no reason to worry since you lived 2 blocks away. Cindy's week. Alright, I'm gonna skip and just see if everything's the same. Neck. Okay, I got stabbed again? I'm not... What? Guys, I'm telling you. If it's because I'm not choosing the right movie, I'm going to turn this game off. And you will get a 22. I'm not going to cut. I'm only going to cut one thing of this out. That was me checking my phone to see what was going on outside. I'm telling you. Okay, hold on. Do I have to mock him when he picks up my badge? Hold on, skip. This also better not be well, I'll tell you. So this is what I mean, because the games like these have so many different choices, because it could literally be anything. Because it could be from I didn't make the right choice to I didn't choose the right aisle to go down. So we're gonna try it again. And I'm going to save it right here. No, matter of fact, I'm going to save it here too. Mock him. We're going to mock him. Wow, really? I have to mock him. Oh my god. Okay. Who are you, the badge security? The man shrugged, unconcerned. I just wanted to make sure I gave it to the right person. I clearly work here. He chuckled. Yeah, but it could have belonged to someone else. It literally has my photo printed on it. The man waved it off dismissively. Would you prefer I gave your badge to just any uniformed person who claimed it was theirs? His logic was extremely convincing. I guess not. The man cocked his head with a smirk. How do you know he's smirking if he has a friggin' mask on? You couldn't see it through the bandana, but you knew he was smiling. You know what? That sentence right there was perfect. You didn't need the first part. See, I'm not so bad. Yes, you are. You are. I've only been recording for 25 minutes, and you already pissed me off with 2 endings of this game. So, yes. The fact that he said that made you think quite the opposite. Suddenly put the badge around your neck while he remained motionless in a spot. And I also want to point out, someone in the comments of that Jeff the Killer video really did a whole, like, emoji of saying, I like Jeff. Like, almost as if they were offended that I didn't like the game. This is why I don't like Jeff, okay? Games like these. Let's continue. You slowly moved towards the counter. The guy stared at you as he moved, which only made your discomfort worse. Okay. Alright, we're gonna skip. So if I said yes last time. No. If I say yes. What the heck? He asked for my name. Why? He picked up my badge. I guess it was to verify it was mine. Cindy held her chin thoughtfully. It was a little weird, I guess. Cindy looked at you and saw us for a few seconds inside. If he makes him comfortable, I can ask him to leave. Once again, you're probably right. Okay, I'll leave it to it. I'll check the inventory. Okay, meet his gaze. Skip. I want to say something. Hold on. Choose comedy. Actually, you know what? I just want to see. So I still died, as you can see. If I click horror, and what pops up, pops up. Again, the stranger was there, this time in front of you, looking intently at the CD in your hands. What movie are you going to put on? Excuse me? I want to know what movie you're going to put on. Is that a crime? No, of course not, but... Come on, I'm undecided. Maybe you can inspire me. You looked at him in silence for a moment, then sighed with weariness. You've got to be kidding me. Scream. Oh. Classic slasher. Interesting. Well, did that help you decide? The guy cocked his head. Now you knew for sure that was his way of showing mockery. A little. Though what caught my attention most was the genre you chose. You raised an eyebrow. Oh yeah, what about it? Horror. His tone dropped. Interesting choice. It always says something about the person who prefers it. Like what? That you're looking to feel something real. Or you want fear to have a face. Something you can understand even if it means danger. His words were soft, they pricked like needles under your skin. Maybe I like strong emotions without putting myself at risk like everyone else. But you're not like everyone else. Well, that phrase needs to be removed from the visual novel bingo card. What? He moved a little closer to the counter. He didn't invade your space, but it was as if he caressed it. What the You don't seem to be afraid. Should I be? Depends. Do you prefer to see horror from the outside or have it stare back at you? Go with it. I guess it depends on how pretty the face of horror is. Tilda said slightly, as if you had said something he didn't quite expect, but he didn't seem surprised either. Wow, keep in mind that sometimes pretty things bite too. He glanced at the shelves for a second as if looking for something, but it was obvious he wasn't. Maybe like being bitten, who knows? He shrugged as if downplaying his own words. He extended a finger and drew circles on the counter surface. He was pretending to think, ignoring you, but aware of your presence. For your mental sanity's sake, you needed to hurry him up. Be direct. Hey, buddy, could you hurry up? What's the rush? There aren't many other customers besides me. Do you even want to buy anything? The guy chuckled. I'm just indecisive, not bothering anyone. You glanced back, searching for Cindy just to feel some security that you weren't on your own. But unfortunately, you didn't see her anywhere. Then without you asking, he reached a hand over the counter. I'm Jeff. I think it's time we fully introduce ourselves. Don't you, Sterl? Yeah, sure, whatever. Your gaze dropped to his hand. High five? The hell? Okay, he started laughing. Jeff laughed loudly, drawing the attention of a few remaining customers in the store. You couldn't help it, but you also laughed at your reaction. Hey, don't exaggerate. They're watching us. Why? Are you embarrassed for them to see you? It's not that. You're bothering the customers. Right. I didn't think you were someone who'd easily get embarrassed. Someone who works in a store, you should convince the customer to buy as much as possible. Something told you Jeff would take his sweet time. You watched him in silence for a few seconds, observing his thoughtful posture. If he was insistent on prolonging the interaction, you were allowed to make him uncomfortable too, right? What do you do for work? Are you single? What's up with the bandana? I don't friggin' know. No, we're gonna keep going through this. Okay, I guess neither one matters. We'll just go off the last one. Are you single? Just stumbled in place, turning his gaze to you. Your maid settled for a second, recovering from the initial surprise, and tilted his head with its teeth. How many times are you gonna tilt your dang head? What if I'm not? I don't care. Which one? I wouldn't mind sharing. You rested your chin on your hand, raising your eyebrows playfully. Jeff cleared his throat against his bandana, hiding what you suspected was a chuckle. You flirted with a guy that looks like he just escaped an insane asylum? He has no eyelids. He's staring. Oh my god. First off, he looks like a friggin' diseased panda, okay? And you think that's funny. He also looks like friggin' Rubik's son from The Evil Within. Well, did you decide what to get? Jeffrey focuses attention on you. Seems like you really want to get rid of me. Answer sarcastically, since apparently I'm supposed to be mean. No, not all. I'm wasting time with weirdos who walk in circles as if they're lost in the supermarket. Jeff's eyes widened, feigning offense. Hey, that was mean. You're gonna make me cry. He clutched his chest dramatically, then chuckled again. This time his laugh was softer, more genuine. I feel like you'd cry blood. I don't know this was funny because I talked to you, because I ruined your day. The statement came out with unsettling frankness. You didn't know how to react, but you knew that in the end Jeff had done things on purpose. Well, at least you admit you weren't exactly a delight. Sure, I'm not an idiot. I know what kind of reaction I get from people. Jeff shrugged and tilted his head, questioning and mocking. Do you treat all customers like this, or am I special? You couldn't help but let out a small laugh at his words. You know what? I don't usually spend so much energy on strangers, but you earned it. God, how long has this conversation been going on? Jeff straightened up suddenly, pleased, as if he'd been told he'd achieved a great feat. I'll take it. For a moment, you thought Jeff meant he appreciated your words, until you noticed his eyes were fixed on the movie you had chosen to put in the player. Oh, great. He said with relief. Finally, Jeff would take something. And it was something you knew he liked. You felt good about doing your job well, after all. Thanks for shopping with us. Jeff nodded, taking the movie in its bag, headed for the exit. It was a pleasure, Sterl. Yeah, get out. Goodbye. Here we go. You reciprocated your own hand, though not as enthusiastically as his. Well, you managed to sell something to the weirdo of the day. How? Acting like a little kid. How old is this guy? Okay, let's see. How old is Jeff the Killer? This man is originally 13? FBI, open up! I'm gonna go to jail like R. Kelly, guys. Is that a joke I can make? I'm serious. I'm going to jail. You have me romancing a kid. Okay, it also says, I imagine, I don't know how recent this is. If he's alive in the real world, he should be around 29. Okay, that's better. That's an accomplishment after all. Workday was over. Quiet. Okay, we're going to skip this. Okay, I finally didn't get grabbed by the throat and stabbed. So you felt your arm being pulled violently to one side. Maybe you should have been more alert. You were dragged into an alley beside the street. It was slightly darker, but a street light nearby allowed you to distinguish what was in front of you. Since the sudden action disoriented you, you were slow to react. What the F? The sound of a slight blow to the side of your head interrupted you, and you realized the person had cornered you against the brick wall behind you. You glance at the person's arm, familiar white sleeve covering an arm reaching from your blind spot. You grew tired of the suspense and finally looked up at the person who had cornered you, and you had an idea who it might be. Ew! Ugh!
Ew!
Starella, we meet again. Ew! Why does he kind of look like a monkey, though? He looks like a skeleton, actually. I suddenly filled you at the sight of a white, scarred face. Jeff had removed his hood and began revealing his face. His skin varied in colors and textures. His nose was sunken. His milky blue eyes were deep set in dark circles. You were certain you hadn't seen him blink once. I told you for like the longest time he has no eyelids. He legit looks like he looks like a whole skeleton. But what caught our attention was a scar that ran across his mouth. It didn't look like a clean cut. Like, I can't talk. Oh my god. His face is throwing me off. It didn't look like a clean cut, and the way it distorted his expression sent a shiver down your spine. You assumed his face would have imperfections you want to hide to avoid stares from strangers, but considering the bizarre situation, it wasn't surprising. You assumed his face would have imperfections. That's not an imperfection, Jeff. Certainly you were at a disadvantage here, so you tried to think of ways to turn the tables. Wow, who would have thought at night someone alone, gloomy alley, a classic. Jeff chuckled at your sarcasm. You don't drop the act, huh? Then he pulled a knife from his hoodie pocket. Now make sure you give me a good show. His voice was raspy, accelerated. With an anxious tone, he seemed impatient. If I die again, guys, a show? Beer is exquisite. He whispered almost and unnecessarily poetically, leaning towards you, his breath grazing your face. Okay, just kill me. Ew. Hey, no offense, but your whole approach feels very cliche. Jeff tilted his head to the side. You would have sworn it was his equivalent of raising an eyebrow. You keep emphasizing that this man tilts his head every chance you get. If he had eyebrows. This isn't the time for jokes, don't you think? Yeah, well, I really don't know what motivated you to attack me. Go away! Damn! Thought we were getting along. Jeff pressed the width of the blade against your cheek, the cold metal against your warm skin. Are you asking what makes you special? Is being special having you drag me into a dark alley? Wow, you must not be very popular. Jeff snorted in annoyance. He grabbed your shoulder with the hand that had cornered you and slammed you against the wall behind you. You felt your head hit the rough texture of the hard surface, making you wince. Okay, so clearly I'm not supposed to, I don't even know, apologize. You live. Wow. If I had apologized, I would have died. Harder? What the Ew. No. Jeff released you and stepped back a couple paces if you burned him. How are you uglier from... Oh my gosh. His expression reflected surprise, and it was a bigger reaction than you expected. Relax, I'm just kidding. That wasn't funny. It was to me. Shut up. It shouldn't be funny. You should be afraid. Jeff approached again, raising that to your neck. Instinctively, you pulled away from the blade, feeling the tip pierce your chin. You're in an alley at night with a knife at your throat. So I'll ask you again. Are you afraid? What do you want me to say? No? F Jeff. You didn't feel like dealing with the sadistic madman. Keep participating. Just smile fell subtly. Oh, so that's how it is. Up and on dead. So... I'm not reading all this. You didn't hold Jeff back. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. What? That whole thing was in Spanish? Okay, guys. I've been recording. I can't talk. I've messed up my whole entire freaking commentary of this video. What am I trying to say? I've been recording for about 41 minutes. I don't think I have the time or energy for any more of this game. I actually, what it was worth, I actually do like the art style. And the game is entertaining at times, but I'm just over the random choices that I clearly have to pick. It's not even a, certain choices just lead to certain outcome. No, it's just, I have to pick these, or I can't progress at all. It kind of just feels like, I don't know how to describe it. But I've seen it in certain visual novels and such, too, before. Sorry, I'm messing with something on my table. desk, whatever you want to call it. The fact that I have to pick certain things that he likes or I'm dead just feels like it defeats the purpose. It kind of feels like I have to be me and I have to be this in this situation. It's like, basically, it feels like I'm not playing as me. I'm just playing as somebody else. Most of the time, these visual novels are supposed to be that you're playing as you, right? Or a certain version of you. But still, I wouldn't do any of this stuff in these situations. Quite frankly, I don't think a sane person would either. But maybe I'm missing the part of the story. Maybe the story is that he wants you to be scared and you're not. Like, maybe that's it. I don't know. I'm done. That's all I can say. I'm done. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And you enjoyed to see me lose my mind again over Jeff the Killer. If any of you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.